Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Welcome to the bonus show. As everyone knows, occasionally I enjoy talking about opulence, about opulent hotels, and things of that nature. And here we've got something a little bit different, a submarine. And basically what this is about is you can essentially rent a room on a luxury submarine. And how much does it cost? Well, it's about $285,000 per night, and there's a 2-night minimum. So you have to spend over $500,000 for 2 nights in this private submarine. I guess it just goes around the Caribbean. And it's quite a thing. And you can watch fish go by. It's all very ticely done. The interior is beautiful. Of course, I assume you're not alone on this submarine because someone has to pilot the thing. But I don't know. I guess they have their own quarters. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I read a little bit about it. I would actually be interested. And I'm not big on boats. I tend to get seasick, even though I do perfectly fine in cars and trains, airplanes, mostly trains anyway. I would be interested in being on a submarine sometime and seeing kind of what it's like. I think that what they should do is get like a retired military submarine and completely retrofit it into being like a very large, almost like a cruise ship, but a submarine instead. And then maybe that would bring the price down. It could be kind of a cool thing.
Maybe. Then again, those submarines are powered by nuclear reactors and require a lot of people to properly run, I think. But who knows? I don't know. In general, those submarines, I think, are some of the most fascinating pieces of equipment in the military, if not in the world. They are incredible. I think they can like be at sea for like 10 years. Now, I don't think this submarine is on that same level, but it is pretty interesting. And I guess there's the food is supposed to be. This is supposed to be very romantic. The food is all aphrodisiacs, with dishes including oysters, caviar, and a decadent chocolate fondant with essence of pomegranate.
Love pomegranate essence. I love that.
Yeah. Other options include a Barry White soundtrack, scattered rose petals, and free champagne on arrival. Free champagne, David.
Listen, if it's going to be $285K per night, I guess the free champagne is to be expected.
Yeah. Is the champagne really free? Come on. That's just kind of an insult.
It's priced into the 285.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what the name of the company. Let's see. I'm not getting the name of the company, but this can't be too hard to find. I think it's probably one of a kind. So if you can afford this, congratulations.
And if you can afford this, we should really talk about you creating a grant for the David Pakman Show.
Right. That too. Yeah. Thank you, David. I don't know, David. I mean, we're pretty great, but a luxury submarine is pretty great too. All right. Now you might want to load up this YouTube clip and play some of this video. Derek sent me this. This is called the homosexuality experiment.
I thought it was the heterosexuality experiment.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said the homosexuality experiment.
It's kind of one and the same, and you'll see why.
Okay.
The heterosexuality experiment. This guy goes around asking people if they would vote for a heterosexual president. Now, he frames it in a way that makes it sound like what he's talking about is a homosexual president.
Right.
And you should play a few of these examples.
All right, let's listen to this. I love this. Let's see.
In this video, I go around Austin, Texas, and ask people if they would vote for a heterosexual president. And what I found quite funny is almost no one knows what heterosexuality means. They always get it confused with homosexuality. And I think it kind of shows you that most people that are opposed to homosexuality don't even know what heterosexuality means. Enjoy. This is the heterosexuality experiment. Let's say president time's coming up. You have to elect a new president.
All right.
Now, would you vote for an admitted heterosexual?
No, no. That
Why-
office has to stay clean, man.
Huh?
That office has to stay clean. No, I wouldn't, man, because I only get one vote. You know,
Yeah.
I want my vote to count. You know,
You don't want it to be wasted on a heterosexual.
no.
So what's your name?
Quinn.
Our question today is simple. Would you vote for an admitted heterosexual president?
No,
Why not?
because I feel like he should be. I mean, God created everyone to be.
Yeah, I think we see where this is absolutely brilliant, and we should even do a follow-up where we go out and we say, would you vote for a Homo sapiens president? Is that something that you would do? And I am sure that we would get people who say, no, absolutely not. No way. Wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but the way he's framing this, is this really more of just a brain experiment than a social commentary?
Well, maybe because you just mixed them up. So I
Well,
guess
that's because thinking about it, I knew what it was about. I mean, obviously I know the difference between the two.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's some element that it's like a verbal trick, maybe. But I don't know. It's pretty clear. If someone said to me, would you vote for a heterosexual president? I'm not going to get mixed up. I mean, I guess with me, even if they said homosexual, the answer would be the same either way. So I guess maybe I'm not a good example. But I don't know that this is just wordplay. I think there's an element of idiocy here.
All right. And I'm sure he edited out the ones where people realized what he was saying.
Of course.
But oddly enough, now you can look this up on YouTube. I'm sure it's pretty easy to find. There's one guy in this video who completely goes off the rails and starts saying that they should be gassed like people in concentration camps. The heterosexuals, of course, he's referring to homosexuals, and starts going completely crazy. And I'm looking and listening to this guy, and I realized that this is the same guy who blew up on the internet a few months ago as someone named Sleepless in Austin, because he put out of course, this was in Austin, that this whole experiment happened. He put out some dating ad that was just the most racist, bigoted, incendiary thing I've ever seen. And it blew up, and this guy was interviewed on TV. I thought I was the only person that realized this man was clearly on the autism spectrum. In my opinion, it's very clear. But I'm almost positive it's the same guy. So you can look this up, the heterosexuality experiment, and or you're shaking your head, David.
No, it's just so crazy. I mean,
it is. I know, it's unbelievable. In Austin, he's walking around this huge city, and he finds the same guy. Sleepless in Austin and the heterosexuality experiment. You can look both of these up. It's incredible.
Man.
And like I said, I don't want to make fun of this guy too much. He clearly has an issue, but
I actually have a problem with that because there are people. Let's see, how can I say this? Our show has many viewers who are Asperger's, autistic, etc. And from the voicemails that are left, I can tell, in many cases, I bet there are cases where we can't, but I can tell where just playing the voicemail, it's funny because there's something not quite right with the person and they don't realize exactly what it is that they're saying. And I just don't play it because I don't want to get involved in making fun of someone. It just doesn't make any sense, right? And I'm actually sometimes surprised by when you see different shows where people are being interviewed, there seems to be a complete lack of awareness that you're talking to someone who's not just quirky or funny or off in some way. It's clearly someone with a condition, right? And people seem to be completely unaware of it.
I think once a child passes a certain age, maybe people don't even consider it anymore. I mean, you hear about autistic children, and I think when you're talking to an adult, people just forget. But yeah, you're right.
And at the same time, we get emails from, like Lewis said, it's a spectrum. We get emails, and we have members who have told me that they are slightly autistic and that they recognize that they are just very uncomfortable in social situations and act in a way that is different when it comes to interacting with others, but they understand their condition, right? That's one level. But what we're talking about here is sometimes a seeming ignorance to somebody who is on the other side of the autism spectrum, or certainly closer to it, and many people seem completely unaware of who they're talking to.
Yeah, people do need to be a bit more aware and just try to pay closer attention to that, because you could end up saying something you regret. It's dangerous. I have a story here about a young woman who is going to serve jail time because of the trolling she did on herself online. Now, here's the kicker. What she told the authorities was that other people were trolling her. And this is an incredible story. Michelle Chapman is her name. She's 24 years old. She's from the UK. And she claims to have suffered distress from sexual taunts from members of her own family. But they were all accounts that she had set up herself as part of a vendetta against her father and new stepmother. I guess she had a falling out with her in-laws after trying to unite with the father she had not seen for 21 years, most of her life. Things didn't go well, and she just started to attack them via social media. But then she started setting up fake accounts and trolling herself and contacting police to complain about the abuse. It's incredible that this is an option, but I mean, after some scrutiny, it became pretty clear what was going on.
Yeah. What will the punishment be? Do we know exactly?
Let's see. I guess at a court hearing, Chapman admitted to committing actions intended to pervert the course of justice and has been jailed for 20 months. Okay. It is believed that this is the first case of someone in Britain being jailed for trolling themselves.
Yeah, that's a pretty stiff sentence, if I say so myself. 20 months is quite a bit. It's not illegal to set up accounts and to troll yourself, but I would have said it's lying to police, it's filing false reports, etc. And I guess they're calling it impeding the course of justice, which makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's just very, very bizarre. And again, this is an example of, could this person really be completely balanced and sane mentally in order to do something like this? It's hard to really imagine that.
Yeah, I think there has to be something wrong with her. And it is, I don't think it's too steep a sentence when you, like you said, when you do consider that you're contacting police and having them run around and do all this investigating and using those resources all under a false pretense. And I think that is pretty crazy. There's a picture of her here, and she looks morbidly obese, massive human being. And not that has anything to do with her mental state, but it's uncommon to see someone this large in the UK, isn't it?
It's less common, but still more common than in many other countries. Yeah, I mean, obviously we have no idea of her medical background. It's not we're completely speculating if we say there might be a connection between her bizarre behavior and the cause of her morbid obesity. Her morbid obesity may be caused by some kind of physical situation that's completely unrelated to the trolling disaster. We don't really know, but it's certainly a strange story.
Sometimes there are conditions where the two could be linked.
Right.
But yeah, this really does not say anything about her medical background. But I assume maybe not. Maybe this is the type of thing that only happens in the U.S., where your defense is, her defense would have been something like insanity or mental illness or some type of physical/mental illness combination.
Imagine if somehow it turned out, not somehow, like imagine if all the hate mail we get, Patriot mail, voicemails, emails we read, YouTube comments, if it was all faked by us just to create controversy and somehow we ended up going to jail for it. Imagine if that was a headline, like David Pakman and Louis Motamedi jailed for faking hate mail about their own show.
Well, okay. We have admitted this before, but ages ago when we were just getting started, to kind of foment things a little bit,
right,
we would have a friend or two occasionally call us and leave an incendiary message.
Right, but we wouldn't have gone to the police to claim that person was really doing something to us.
Right. Luckily now we have plenty of haters.
We have too much. We can't possibly play all of the crazy voicemails and emails and hatred mails.
You're right. It's a hater fest out there, but we love it. We wouldn't have it any other way. And I guess that's it for today. Anything to add?
No, that's it. Remember the Indiegogo campaign. 13 days left. We need your help. We need your help.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.